Do it the month before. For my fellow introverted thought leaders trying to do too much at a 72-hour conference. Now, you may have read the article by me, Mahlena-Rae Johnson, called Do It the Month Before, where I outline for introverted thought leaders who are speaking at a conference that is coming up exactly what you should do the month before to prepare so that you're not trying to squeeze in all of your networking into 3 days. To make sure we all know who this is for. This is for the CEO who wants a plan that does not require you to become someone else after you leave the stage. For the leader who doesn't want to wing it at an event that looks more like a 90s rave than an executive summit. For the author turned speaker who wonders if you can build relationships from your desk chair rather than at a convention center. So let's go. We're looking at this calendar on the screen, and this is an example of a conference that's coming up in October, specifically started EdTech Week. So if you're going to EdTech Week or know somebody who is, then this may be the video for you. Let's go through the four things as we're looking at this calendar right in front of us from September to October for what we're supposed to prepare for. So you'll notice on the calendar, oh, it's time for me to do my video, which is happening right now. So as you may notice on the calendar, there's 2 months, September and October, both 2026, because that's when everything's set up for right now. You'll notice that the stuff on the calendar doesn't start at September 1st. It starts at September 15th because that's a month before the conference, actually before the conference ends, but the conference starts, as you can see, the 13th of September. So I didn't want to start on the 13th because that's a Sunday. I don't know why I didn't start on the 14th, but we're going to start on the 15th. Before we go through each of the days, I want to set up the concept for you of what you're supposed to do with each day or each week. Week one, build your list with intention. So this is when you decide who exactly you want to talk to at this conference, or ideally before this conference, so that you're not trying to speak to everybody, especially since there'll be thousands of people there. You're going to figure out how to connect with other speakers as well as other attendees. And luckily, EdTech Week is a conference that is technologically adept, and there is an actual app for the specific conference, meaning that if you get on the app, ideally other people who are attending the conference and speaking at the conference will be on the app too. So you'll be able to see the names of people and sort them by people who you are more interested in connecting with. Week two, make your next move from your couch in your pajamas. This is when you actually connect with the people that you have identified as your target decision makers whom you want to build relationships with. So you send out messages to people. You use your own template, but it is personalized. I like to make sure that my messages that go out are 3 sentences or less still personalized, so that you have a ideally higher chance of having someone say, yes, I'd love to have a conversation with you, ideally before the conference starts. Week three is when you set up all your meetings. So all these meetings are going to ideally take place in week three, because in week four, we are going to prepare your presence, not just your panel. You're actually going to map out where you want to be at the conference, when, how you want to show up, and very importantly, or just importantly, breaks. Where are the breaks in the conference? And you're also going to be scheduling ways to follow up with people the week after the conference, and rest breaks for that as well. So now let's look directly at this calendar, which has already been up here. So as I said, it's September to October. This process is supposed to take approximately a month, and then there's a week There's a couple weeks after for you to reconnect and meet with people. So first, we're starting at September 15th, planning for EdTech Week in October 13th, 14th, and 15th. So you start now on the 15th. Build your list. Week one is building your list. As I mentioned, if you're lucky enough to have a conference with an app like EdTech Week does have an app, it makes it a lot easier to figure out who else is going and to put those people on your list who have signed up for the app and said, I'm going to EdTech Week, and compile them. Week two, you start connecting with these people. So the 21st through the 25th is your connection time. You can also schedule meetings during this time, but I'm trying to make it as simplified as possible so you know what to do at each step in the process. Week three is meetings. You're ideally meeting with these people whom you've sent a personal connection request to and message in week two. Then week four, you're preparing for the conference. Ideally, you're speaking, so you want to know what you want to present and how. You want to have a call to action at the end of your session and an easy way for people to connect with you because as an introvert myself, I don't want people just bombarding me after I get off the stage. I want to be able to direct people to a QR code or a URL or or a card that you hand out and say, this is where you can connect with me after the conference. I'd love to learn more about you. And you're also preparing your actual conference experience. So you're not just winging it. As I mentioned, you have actual time scheduled during the conference for active participation at the times that are best for your energy and times that are worse for your energy. You want to stay to yourself and have protected alone time. So you arrive in New York City on October 12th. EdTech weeks, EdTech weekdays are day one, day two, day three from the 13th, 14th to the 15th. And then the 16th, you're going to depart New York City. And on the 17th and 18th, Saturday and Sunday, you're going to recover. You are not going to immediately get into reconnecting with people because you will be tired, especially if you are an introvert. If you're an extrovert, there's a likelihood that you'll have some travel fatigue as well. But introverts especially need to recognize that you spent the past 5 days, including travel days, interacting with a bunch of people whom you don't know and possibly are not comfortable with. So you need to take those 2 days to recover. Then, most likely, the week after the conference, you're going to be back at work, either in your office or wherever you do what you usually do day to day. And this is the time to reconnect. So I'm giving it a whole week to reconnect with people, both the people you had meetings with before the conference and the people that you met with during the conference. You're going to send, again, personalized, concise messages to them, to the people that you actually want to build a future relationship with. Then again, you're going to rest on Saturday the 24th and Sunday the 25th, and then schedule those meetings on the second week after the conference. So you've connected, said, let's have a meeting the next week. Hopefully, those people say yes, and it's great, and you're building the relationships. And we conclude with October 31st, which is Halloween. If you observe, please share in the comments what your costume will be. So, if you need help with how to do it the month before, connect with me, Mahlena-Rae Johnson, on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Mahlena. I also have a specific program uh, to help people with calendars like this and the strategy behind it to make your conference experience not only have a better ROI, return on investment, but also to make it smoother and happier so that you're not feeling like the conference is an obligation, but an opportunity to connect with your people in the way that works best for you, not the way that works best for extroverts. So again, my and the program that I just mentioned, it's called the Agenda Audit. It's 2 weeks one-on-one. We plan this whole thing out so that you get the return on investment that you didn't get on your last conference. And if you just want to talk to me about this process overall, or you think I'm pretty cool, which I am, connect with me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Mahlena. Thank you so much for watching. Yay!